Hello, hope you're having a great day. Today you join me after my run around the block. I went for a run instead of a walk today, and before that I had a 20-minute meditation session, and before that I wrote in my journal, and as usual before that I had loads and loads of water when I got up and my vitamin C. And in a minute I'm going to be cracking on with my exercises. Now this morning I didn't get up at 7:30, and that's because I had to catch up on some sleep from the weekend. And those of you that watched the last video will know why I didn't get enough sleep at the weekend, but I'm sure if you haven't seen the last video and you've seen some of my other videos, you'll be able to guess why I lost some sleep at the weekend. The idiot upstairs. Anyway, my shoulder is actually really aching. I think moving forward I'm going to have to just go super light all the time on shoulders, because I like to go boxing training once a week, and that puts your shoulders under strain as well. So I'll just have to not go full send on shoulders when I'm working out here at home or in the gym. We'll see how that goes. My ego will probably still tell me to go full send. But in terms of the gym, the last session I did was arms and chest. But that session and the session before that, which was back and shoulders, weren't very intense. When I went to my last gym session on Friday with my girlfriend Kat, and we were doing arms and chest, we were rushing around trying to get to watch this film at the cinema, which we failed to do in the end anyway. So yeah, technically next in the gym I'm going to be doing legs, but I think here at home I'm just going to do another session on arms and chest. Now, because my shoulder is hurting, I probably should also go a bit light on me doing chest press, and possibly even the tricep things that I do. But yeah, I'm going to bang out chest press, the tricep things, and arm curls, and then I'm going to get in my cold shower and have my breakfast. Today I'm listening to David Goggins again, who I thought was suitable, seeing as I went for a run. And although I run about 1 mile and he runs 100 miles at a time, yeah, very motivational bloke, and yeah, really enjoy listening to his stuff. Alright, well today after I had my breakfast I obviously dived into working on my MacBook, and unsurprisingly I just haven't been able to get into my work at all. All I've had on my mind is the grief we had at the weekend with our neighbours upstairs. Now I accept that I'm doing this to myself, I accept that I do have control over my mind and I am making it worse. I mentioned in the last video that I've sort of come to the conclusion where, my mind is telling me that the only option I've got is to, make comments to the alcoholic upstairs every time they come back from the off license. And I'm kind of breaking my own rules. I know that's not the answer, but it's like I'm backed into a corner, and it's like I can't do anything. We knock on the ceiling, we knock on the door, and they just get worse. And then if I overstep the mark and start getting angry, they call the police. And obviously the system nowadays seems to, just side with transgender people, because that's like one of the agendas of the day. So it's like I'm backed into a corner, and the only thing I can do really is try and make this alcoholic feel like the loser it is. I know that whenever they choose to, they're going to be staying up late, they're going to be talking loud, they're going to be banging on the ceiling, banging doors and drawers, and if I dare to ask them to keep it down, they're just going to get louder, and I'm going to have to sit there and wait until they go to sleep before I go to sleep. And even now I acknowledge that what I'm doing is I'm looking into the future, to a future that doesn't exist yet, because all that's real is the now. The future isn't real. So I understand I'm breaking my own rules here, and I understand that I am making things worse for myself, because like today I haven't been able to get into my work because I've just been thinking about them. So I need to get over it, I need to accept it, work harder and try and get to a position where we can just move out. It's just when you're dealing with morons, like, they don't care, like, they're an alcoholic, so they're selfish, so they don't care, like, all they care about is themselves. And yeah, I mean, it's not going to break me, but I can't deny that it has prevented me from, being as productive as I wanted to today. One thing I did have to do today is re-record the video that I put out yesterday, because when I recorded it earlier, before I started this video, it had no sound on it. So, and obviously that video is about the grief with the neighbours, so automatically that's going to, put it, fresh in my mind again and sort of wind me up about it a little bit. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, what I've done now is, I've got my favourite car at home now because we took it to the show yesterday. So I decided to go for a quick spin, which always, improves my mood. And now I've just made my way to the gym, and I'm going to be doing a relatively early session, and I'm going to be banging out legs. So yeah, let's get in there and do this. Alright, so back home after the gym, and I've already had a shower. I did the full leg session, did all the machines I normally do on a full leg session. The hip adduction and hip abduction I did at the end, and I did those back to back. And then as I got on my third set on the first one of those two machines, with the 2 drop sets obviously, someone jumped on the other one. So the other hip machine I only done 2 sets of, but yeah, other than that, full leg session. I actually went up a weight on the calf raise thing, the leg extension, and both of the hip machines, which is good. Progress is progress. I'll put the reps and the weights on the screen now for anyone who's interested. Just going to knock myself up some dinner. Got some marinated chicken from yesterday, so just need to put that in the microwave, so that's nice and easy. Going to have salad with it, and of course a couple of eggs. And then I'm probably going to chip away a little bit on the next edit on the car channel, just because I didn't get nowhere near as much done as I would have liked. Now, we could say that it's, the neighbours are to blame because of all the grief that's, going on again at the moment, and that being on my mind. But, I always like to take responsibility for what's going on in my head myself, because I want to live in a world where I believe I do have control of my mind. And you know what? Most of the time I do, thanks to this new healthy lifestyle that I'm living, thanks to things I do on a daily basis, like writing my journal and meditating, thanks to, eating healthily and exercising, because that's all key to having a healthy mind as well. But, it might seem like I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I've basically broken my own rules over the last couple of days, but I want to show you guys that this is real life, and I'm not immune to the stuff that I preach. And I also believe that even when you do allow your mind to overcome you, it's still always better to acknowledge that, If your mind does overcome you and drag you into future and past, and, you go through a bad time where, your ego is overcoming you and you are very mind driven and it is holding you back, once you get through the storm, even if you're not able to sort of snap out of it and bring yourself back to the present moment during the episode, even afterwards, it's still better to acknowledge what happened and analyse it. Even if you then go and make the same mistakes again, it doesn't matter. It's still better to acknowledge what's going on in your mind for what it is. You know what? My mind is hypocritical. Some people say that you've got a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. Well, I feel like I've got 20 angels on one shoulder and 20 devils on the other shoulder, and they're all, contradicting each other. Sometimes my mind is a mess. So, it's not surprising that, the way I act and the way I handle what's going on in my life and in my mind, does contradict itself, And look, I could hide all this and come on here and pretend that I'm perfect and that, everything I preach, I'm following to the letter, but that's not real, and I always will be real. So look, today hasn't been ideal, and although you could say that my neighbours were to blame because of the way they're going on, I fully take responsibility for it, because I could, if I tried hard enough, not allow it to bother me. And look, I believe in karma, you know. I have lived my life as a waste man. You know, I deserve a little bit of hardship. I deserve a bit of negativity coming my way, you know, as does the alcoholic upstairs. You know, they can't go on the way they're going on without a bit of negativity coming their way, you know, without some hardship in their life coming, you know, or maybe they're already having that hardship, because from the outside looking at them, it doesn't look like they're having much fun, even if, you know, they can't see it themselves, you know, due to being intoxicated every day. And I can resonate with that. At the height of my addiction, you know, where I'm sniffing cocaine every day, all right, if, you know, I must have sat there every now and again and sort of realised to myself, yeah, this is an issue. But for most of the time, you just think you're like living the dream, and you can't see it. So it is what it is. In general, I'm not going to let it hold me back. You know, I am 251 days clean now, I think. And, you know, even though there will be these hiccups in the road where I don't deal with things, ideally, I'm still way further along the journey of getting to where I want to be than I would be if I didn't, you know, acknowledge what's going on in my mind and I didn't live this lifestyle that I'm living now. So look, I'm going to end this video now, make my dinner and chill out and crack on with some work before going to bed, hoping for a way more productive day tomorrow, which I will of course be filming for you guys to watch if you want to. Until then, feel free to comment below and say hello and we'll have a chat, or contact me directly through Facebook, Instagram or email. But yeah, other than that, I'll chat to you tomorrow.